Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. So it's a new day. Uh, it's 12:20 a.m. in the night. So yeah, 12th of September. Technically, it is a new day. Uh, I thought I should make another video. Um, so this video or session is for people who are stuck in life or feel stuck as if you are trapped in the body and you want to escape. You could be 25, you could be 35, you could be 75. It can happen to anyone. You know, it, it's a feeling where you feel claustrophobic, like you are in a coffin and you want to be free, you want to escape, uh, and your body actually responds to that state because it's rooted in your psyche, in your soul. So something is going on deep in your unconscious that is manifesting mentally and physically. So you have to understand that um, what could be the problem. Yes, there could be trauma, uh, because energy gets stuck in the body, uh, and it manifests as physical symptoms. You can, work on that. You can work on your diet, but sometimes doing all those things doesn't really help much. It works superficially, but you're still not satisfied internally. You feel rigid, and your conscience is not at peace. It's not, you know uh, it's not feeling relaxed. It's like you're dead on the inside, and you have to you know be free from this state, and just want to fly away. So the root cause is obviously in the soul, and you have to understand that uh, as a soul, since that is your identity, not the mind or the body, your soul. You are a soul that is a fragment of the Holy Spirit, the God consciousness. We are made up of His light, so we we are naturally dependent on God, and we only desire God, we only need God. And when the connection of the soul is disrupted, there's an obstruction in the flow, there's a disconnection with the source, we uh, we begin to manifest such symptoms that we get depressed and have anxiety and constant uh, phobias, and all sorts of physical problems can happen. you know uh, And this disorder is because we are not living the way God has designed us. I am speaking from my experience. I'm not any different. I am actually trying to recover from the same state. And I want to share this so that if somebody is going through something similar, they can work on themselves and realize that they are not alone. And yeah, so people nowadays, especially after Corona happened uh, around 4.5 years ago, people started experiencing chronic fatigue syndrome and neurological disorders and some mental illnesses and so many things, autoimmune disorders. Now you can get vitamin D supplements, and you can have ashwagandha and all sorts of things, but they will only work superficially. They might give you a boost in the world, but internally one is restless. One feels uh, that there's something missing, right? So, what's missing is God in your life. Especially if you were a born believer, you will realize that there was a time when you had a connection with God, and then for some reason you stopped praying, or you stopped maybe believing, you got distracted, and God has his way of pulling you back. Something happens, and we are pulled towards him because he is the one who remembers us. That's why we remember him. And he is the magnet that is pulling his creation towards him. He loves us unconditionally, but we also have free will. We are the ones who are resisting that, and that resistance is what is creating suffering in our spirit. Right, at the spiritual level we are suffering. We need to suffer consciously with grace, as in to struggle, you know in the name of God, uh, by following the path of truth. So when you start praying, if you are a Muslim, you could be a Christian, you could be a Jew, you could be Hindu, Buddhist, whatever religion you belong to, if you believe in a higher power, whatever your roots are, just return to that. And I can guarantee you that you will start feeling a shift in your life. And you don't have to believe me, you just have to try it for yourself. That just return to your roots, ask yourself, where do I come from? What religion was I brought up in? It's okay if let's say you were born in a certain religion, and maybe it doesn't resonate with you. It's okay. As long as you are sincere in your practice, that's what matters. But I believe that your roots uh, have this potency. So so what is the root of the root? God. And your soul needs to be merged into it, into God consciousness deeply, so that it is nourished. And when your soul will be nourished, purified, automatically you will feel good mentally and physically. When we are stuck and our vision has become narrowed, it's hard to discern exactly what's going on within us. And we are obviously getting uh, this we're getting a bit agitated, and because we don't know what's going on. We think that it could be some fatal disease and this or that, and uh, most doctors don't even know what's going on. The best they can do is just give you antidepressants or uh, get all sorts of tests done. Even if they try to perform certain surgeries, in some cases, uh, it, it, it will not help your soul, right? I mean, it's rare that somebody is going through something like this and medically they they got better. It happens. There's a 10% chance that you go to a doctor and you will actually be cured. And so what I'm so you have to understand that uh, this is a spiritual illness that people like us are going through, and we have to question ourselves: where did I go wrong? What have I been doing? How have I been spending my time? How much have I been praying? uh, you know am I in the wrong company? Am I sincere in my practice? How do I conduct my activities? How do I treat your siblings, your spouse, your teachers, whoever? Because we don't realize that one of the biggest sins is pride, and that's what leads to other sins. When we have pride, we don't have fear of God, and when we don't have fear of God, it leads to lust and anger and greed, laziness, sloth, all these sins. And one thing leads to another, and we don't even realize how it's shaping us, and we are completely distorted. God designed us in His image, but when we live like a demon, our internal image will be reversed. It's not even a joke. This is, I mean, you can actually read about these things. Uh, how we live is what we become. I mean, if you look at it from a practical example, like if you just keep on sleeping or sitting and eating junk food, you're watching rubbish things on the television or phone, you're mindlessly scrolling, and you are into other addictions. You will notice, if you were in a healthy state or a much like a normal state, your whole well-being, your physique, everything will go down within a few months. You may not even recognize yourself after a few years if you continue that. But when you will start changing yourself, your everything will start changing, because now you are uh, taking this uh, shift, or you're trying to change for the better. you know it's just like when one goes to the bathroom, takes a shower, wears nice clothes, puts on some perfume, and uh, you get a haircut done. You change automatically. And uh, yeah, so this is exactly like that. It's a spiritual makeover. You have to work on yourself, and you will notice just in 40 days you can see a remarkable change. If you are doing it with sincerity, you will see how it changes you. But the challenge is to continue that. 40 days does seem like a lot in the beginning, but once we achieve that, by the grace of God, it is only the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. You have your whole life now, you have to continue. You don't have to be a monk or uh, run away from the world. You just have to understand your priorities. What is my priority? The one who created me should be my priority. I should, you know, focus on God all the time, and then comes my health and my responsibilities. So you have to understand that, like they say, what we think we become. We are what we eat. The same way we are what we do, and we have to be careful about how we are spending our time. We should not waste our time. As believers, we need to have fear of God, and we need to remind ourselves of death all the time. You might be young, you could be in your 20s, you could be 40, and you will say that why should I worry about all these things? Because we have so much energy and all that, and we we don't want to feel depressed by thinking about these things. But it's something that you cannot convince someone. I mean, it's I think, like I am sharing right now, I don't think it will have any impact unless uh, there is some sort of divine intervention. If God wants to inspire you through me or anyone or any situation, then only it will happen. My job is to speak the truth, and I hope I'm guided to speak more uh, accurately so that I don't mislead anyone. But yes, it's important to understand that we are here for certain amount of time. Nobody knows when they're going to die. Uh, no doubt that death is a beautiful uh, thing, uh, but we have to be practical as well. That am I actually uh, living according to God's commandments? Don't have to see what others are doing. This is the reason why people get carried away, distracted, misled, because they look at others that they are committing certain actions or sins, and they think, why aren't they being stopped? And this is what happens in the society. People learn from others. If somebody is breaking a traffic signal, 10 people will follow that guy. If somebody is throwing a litter on the street, others will follow him as well. So you see how much responsibility we have as believers, as human beings, uh, that our actions can inspire others to do good or bad depending on our character. So we have to be careful, how we speak in front of children, how we behave in front of uh, others in public. We I'm learning that I feel like I'm rotten, I'm dead, and I need to bring myself to life. Maybe I'm sharing this message because I'm impatient, and I just can't sit in meditation. you know uh, and I just want to be honest that yes, I am experiencing these things, and I need to connect with like-minded people so that we can work together and make this world a better place by being the change. Uh, we all we all are struggling. Nobody is perfect, and we are students of God, and we all are on our own journey. So, so yes, prayer is communion with Allah, with God, and it's important to develop that connection. It's very therapeutic, and I feel that instead of taking these pills and going to psychiatrists, I mean, in most cases, I'm not saying everyone, but I feel that 80% of the people can be healed just by religion. You know, we underestimate the power of religion, the power of scriptures, the power of prayer, uh, the power of meditation, or spiritual healing. uh, just like we ignore the benefit of diet or exercise, same way spiritually it's so important to work on our soul, the health of our soul. If you could see your soul, you know uh, virtually, like a patient in a hospital, it would be in a state of coma, which is constantly getting a drip, but it is an ICU. On the surface, you are seeing yourself as completely normal, but internally, our soul is unconscious, it's suffering, it's in pain. And how do we know that? When we listen to uh, a recitation of the Holy Quran, for example, or let's say you are a Christian, if you're listening to the Bible or reading it, you will feel cer- this some repulsion. Something will be pulling you away. You start feeling this agitation, uh, and that is a sign that you are in darkness. Absolutely. And this message is only for people who are believers, who believe in one God, who believe in the hereafter. And I don't want to act holier than thou or preachy or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I feel. I am the worst of all sinners. I know even saying this sounds pretentious, but I want to correct myself. It would be a blessing if I can work on myself and be human like, if not human, in this life, and be an inspiration to others. God knows when, but I can only uh, teach people if I am an example. So the point is that prayer is so important. Uh, and if people around you are not praying, let's say, or not living the life the way a believer must live, let's say they are not religious, they have their own issues or priorities, you should pray for them. You can try to pray on their behalf if you have the strength. You should forgive them, you know, because somewhere we feel that they are responsible for our pain. No, you have to understand that this is an ordeal. This is your test. That are you willing to struggle for God? If this is the situation in your house, let's say, are you going to humble yourself, politely excuse yourself, not be proud or arrogant that, oh, I am the one who's praying and look at these people? No, you just have to see this as a test. Just like, when you have an exam the next day and you have to study at night and your family is watching television. I have discussed this before in a video, but nevertheless it's a great example. So the same way, just think that every day, if you think that I have to prepare myself for my exam, you know this life is a preparation for the hereafter. And once I graduate, my life will be uh, the way God intended it to be. The pleasure of this world is nothing compared to the pleasure that comes by the closeness of God in this world or the hereafter. And we should pray not just for ourselves, but for every individual in the world, that they are guided to the right path. I mean, we need to we need to understand that yes, there's so much happening in the world, and we are easily distracted. Like a child is, you know, ha- he cannot focus on something for more than a minute. Uh, he needs to be entertained all the time. So we have to understand that spiritually also we are like that we are easily distracted. So we have to strengthen our faith. We have to be strong. God gives us chance again and again. Don't focus on the doom and gloom, uh, but try to be positive, be hopeful. You don't have to have false expectations. You have to understand that only God knows what is truly meant to be, or what is going to happen. My job is to trust Allah, trust God, and keep on going. I may fall, like a spider crawls when he's trying to make a web, but he keeps falling, but he doesn't give up. So as human beings, we can learn so much from honeybees and ants and birds who are creating nests, and cats who are so focused when they are trying to hunt their target. That's what they teach in Sufi meditation. When you are meditating, just stay put, close your eyes, just stay focused on God, just stay on your target, and it will come. That inspiration will come. You just have to set an intention. So whatever spirituality means to you, in whatever way you feel comfortable connecting to God, just start with that. If you feel comfortable, let's say sitting in a cafe, drinking coffee, that gives you that feeling of of connecting with God just for those 20 minutes. Try to do that. At least you are consciously connecting with God. Somebody might go to a park. So just remember that you you have to make sure that prayer is a part of your routine, and you will 100% feel uh, a positive change. And the real challenge is to continue that, because there is a spiritual warfare going on, and these negative entities, uh, they will try to make you feel, despondent or hopeless, put you in a state of despair. And they will make you feel like it's all pointless or meaningless and you can't do anything, or whatever thought can come in your head, anything can come in your head, anything. It might not even make any sense. So you have to be alert that this negative thought cannot be from God, and I have to banish it by constantly praying. When you are alone, try to chant loudly. When you are with amongst people, just try to pray or remember God internally, and keep yourself clean. And yeah, if you can seek company of somebody who is uh, spiritual or really religious, you feel they are saint, by all means do that. Anything that helps you get close to God, do that. But remember that, have firm faith in God, because only He is the one who exists. Everything else is a creation. So don't ever lose your faith. Just understand that uh, everything comes, at its own time, and you are struggling at your own pace. And little by little, just try to correct yourself. Focus one day at a time, and you will be amazed by how it changes you. Everything will come into place when you work on the root cause. You know. So I suppose this was a great session. I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. And please give me your feedback. Um, I hope this continues for a long time and creates a positive impact. And I pray that whoever is feeling stuck in their life, left behind, uh, is depressed, or is feeling uh, suicidal, you know, I hope you come out of it, and remember that God is with you and He is taking care of you. You just have to hold His hand. All right, take care. Bye bye.